So maybe
is going.
Hello and welcome to Inside Jacksonville, a production of the University of North Florida School of Communication and the CW17. I'm Lauren Paradis.
And I'm Sara Glenn. We're here each month for stories about life on our favorite coast, the First Coast.
With rock climbing officially added to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, more people are recognizing the legitimacy of the sport. Beaches Rock Gym is Jacksonville Beach's first climbing gym, and it has been growing since they opened in 2017.
Although Florida's highest point of elevation is only 375 feet, the rock climbing community has dropped deep roots. And the growth of Jacksonville's own Beaches Rock Gym is a testament to the growth of the global climbing community.
I think we have a really great climbing community here at Beaches Rock Gym. Everyone's really close-knit and supportive, and you find that in most rock gyms, but I think it's especially so here at Beaches Rock Gym. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit more mom and pops than other rock gyms, but I think that really creates that community here, and I think it's really special.
Bouldering is climbing stripped down to its raw state. It's going to challenge your mental abilities and your physical abilities. And because they're on short walls, it means that they don't require a rope, they don't require a harness. All you're going to need is chalk and a pair of shoes.
We specialize in bouldering. We started out as a bouldering gym, and just recently in the last couple of months we've expanded to a second bay where we have an auto belay, and also we have the first kilter board in all of Florida, which is pretty neat.
A kilter board is an adjustable training wall that can be angled between 0 and 70 degrees. The wall is interactive, and climbers use a phone app to toggle between different routes that light up next to the holds on the wall. An auto belay is an automated descent system that allows climbers to safely scale large walls and fall countless amount of times without having a partner to belay for them. Auto belays mean longer routes requiring higher endurance.
You know, I think you could look at it from a couple different angles. I think a lot of people view it as some form of physical meditation, because it's easy to go bouldering by yourself and kind of unwind and just focus on something really simple, like the way your foot sits on a tiny hold compared to the way your hand is holding onto a big hold, and how you're holding it can be kind of soothing. And then I think, obviously it has really physical benefits too, you can get really strong doing it. But it can also be a really social sport too. I think a lot of people just go to sit on the mats and catch up with their friends and, just have fun.
To learn more about Beaches Rock Gym, visit unftv.com.
Hannah Gonzalez Chavez made a career and family-altering decision when she and her husband found out child number 4 was on the way. The former high school teacher left the classroom to stay at home with her growing family and eventually build a new business. Inside Jacksonville's Cavallo takes us to the sweetest-smelling home office.
Meet Hannah Gonzalez Chavez, a stay-at-home mom and a home business baking entrepreneur. With 5 kids under the age of 4 to supervise, she found the time and talent to start Crepes and Bakes by Hannah, a bakery she runs out of her kitchen. She started with a base of recipes, many from her mom, and a passion for baking before deciding there might be a business opportunity right here in her kitchen.
So I started off just making scones and breads and all sorts of different bakes, and I thought if I could just make this work, if it works for a month or two, and just by word of mouth spread the word that I'm baking goods, then we'll see if this can work, because I really enjoy to bake.
Gonzalez Chavez's baked goods were a quick hit, and with all the positive feedback, she wanted to expand into customized cakes and cookies. There was just one problem. She didn't know how to decorate a cake.
Every cake trend that I was interested in, there was a tutorial on YouTube or on Instagram, and so I just started watching video after video, and through trial and error, kind of learned how to decorate, especially cakes.
Since Gonzalez Chavez bakes from home, she has very few limitations when it comes to customizing a cake. And she's willing to try new things to create a design that her customers will love.
She's very inventive, so it helps when you're trying to get an idea out there and she creates something of her own, and you end up loving it.
Gonzalez-Chavez says the hardest thing about having her own business is finding the happy medium between being a mom and a baker.
First and foremost, I'm a mom of 5 children, and so I have to balance my time and I have to schedule my bakes according to the kids' schedule.
Whether she's baking in the kitchen or wrangling in her 5 kids, Hannah makes it seem like it's a piece of cake. Hannah markets her cakes on both Facebook and Instagram. Catherine Cavallo, Inside Jacksonville.
To learn more about Crepes and Bakes by Hannah, visit unftv.com.
The Metro nightclub in downtown Jacksonville is well known for its performances by drag queens every weekend. Inside Jacksonville's Sara Albertelli went on scene to learn just what it takes to be Showtime ready.
Not many people know that Jacksonville is home to a prominent drag performing community, but Kesha Mann is here to change all of that.
I truly started because I just loved the industry. I loved fashion, I loved makeup, I loved all the things girly. And I came from Catholic school in general, so it was very frowned upon in general. So I've always felt like the outcast. So for me, this was just another way to really, truly express myself and kind of just show who I am as an entertainer and who I am as an artist, as a theater kid growing up. That's kind of why it kind of drew me to drag.
There is an incredible amount of work that goes into drag, as it can take hours and hours of preparation.
Personally, it takes about an hour and a half to do my makeup, sometimes 2 hours, and then the costuming, that's a little bit different. That takes about 30 minutes sometimes, depending on how far I'm going into detail.
And perfected it is. There are performances on the weekends at the Metro nightclub in Jacksonville where drag performers are able to showcase their hard work. The Metro nightclub is just one place in Jacksonville where people are able to come together and celebrate the drag art form and the LGBT community.
There's something raw and genuine about what Jacksonville does, and it is something that attracts me to it and makes me want to be a part of it. I feel like I can dress half naked and go out on a stage full of 50 people, just feel like I'm on top of the world.
Kesha and other performers want people to know that anyone can become involved in drag.
As a community, we are so loving, and honestly, we're just regular people trying to fit in every day, and we just want to be accepted just like everyone else is.
And there you have it. The drag community is an important part of Jacksonville's identity, as it gives the people a form of artistic expression, making the city both unique and diverse for all to live in. Sara Albertelli, Inside Jacksonville.
To learn more about the Metro nightclub and drag shows, visit unftv.com.
Coming up, a couple of Jacksonville artists are finding their footing in the music industry.
Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville. Coming up, we'll find out about a DJ who is taking over the Jacksonville nightlife.
In the state of Florida, hundreds of people die each year in DUI crashes. Jacksonville is no exception, being named one of the most dangerous cities for DUI crashes in the state. Inside Jacksonville's Mott explains how 2 pedestrians fell victim to this at one of Jacksonville's most popular destinations.
In 2019, LendingTree published a study on the state of Florida, ranking Jacksonville as number 3 in fatal DUI crashes per capita.
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office arrest data shows a disproportionate amount of DUIs occur on Atlantic Boulevard, Beach Boulevard, and right here on 3rd Street, a part of A1A.
As the popular bars at Jacksonville Beach offer a great social area, they also pose a great threat from drunk drivers. Bryn, Turner, and Julio Gomez were walking home after a night out when they were hit at a high speed by Joshua Lovingood, a local bartender whose blood alcohol content was measured at .228, almost 3 times above the legal limit.
This is a scene where Bryn, Turner, and Julio Gomez were tragically hit in July of 2019. They were walking from the beach bars right here down 2nd Street, which many Jacks Beach residents use to walk to and from the beach bars. The speed limit here is a tame 25 miles an hour, but after Bryn Turner was hit, he ended up on the other side of the intersection here, over 100 feet from where he was initially standing.
Mr. Turner died on the scene, and his friend Mr. Gomez suffered severe injuries. I walked around the scene with Savannah Taylor, a close friend of Mr. Turner's. She described the scene as absolutely horrifying and wishes more could be done to prevent tragedies like this from happening.
And I said it when I spoke to City Council in August. I said, I grew up here. I am Jax Beach born and raised. I would not be who I am without Jax Beach, but I'm frustrated and I do not want anyone else to feel how I feel. I don't want this to happen again to anyone else.
If you see or know of someone drinking and driving, the best thing you can do to save a life is to call local authorities or to call 911. Louis Fusco, a local DUI defense attorney, tells us that while police do their best to prevent tragic DUI accidents from happening, that people who shouldn't be arrested can fall victim to a traffic stop.
Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of situations where it's the opposite, that individuals who go out, have one beer, which is not per se illegal to consume alcohol and drive, then have their world turned upside down by an assumption that they actually are drunk. So we see both sides of it at the beaches.
If you're planning on hopping behind the wheel after a night out, you're going to want to wait at least 45 minutes after each drink. However, experts warn that some people sober up faster than others, and if you're questioning whether or not you should be driving, you probably shouldn't be. Miller Mott, Inside Jax.
To learn more about Turner's story and ways you can prevent drunk driving, go to unftv.com.
Housing Hats Collective has arrived in Jacksonville to round up local house musicians and give Jacksonville nightlife an evening of fun. Inside Jacksonville's Cori Santucci was able to catch up with one of the local DJs who is making his name with house hats.
House Hats Collective is an electronic music promotion group that rounds up local house music DJs and gives them the chance to perform for hundreds at venues around their town. The group is based out of Gainesville, but their first event in Jacksonville was this past January, and fans are already loving it.
One of those is UNF psychology student Rebecca Coburn.
I got involved with House Hats just kind of being really involved in the music community in Jacksonville. I have a few friends that DJ for them, so I kind of just got in through them and was put in a group chat to promote their events.
Gabe Soh, known by his artist name Sohlo, is one of the DJs that's performing with House Hats every week.
It's been really fun. It's cool to see all of the DJ's friends come out and support each other. It's been really cool because we've done 2 events so far, and we've already got a bunch of events lined up for the rest of the month and the coming months going forward.
Gabe started DJing in 2016 and is quickly becoming in demand.
Started with just my bedroom, and then I moved on to doing fraternity parties, and sorority events, stuff like that. And then about a year ago, I opened for Black Bear at UNF.
Gabe is not only thankful for House Hats for allowing him to perform, but also for helping grow a community of people that share his same love for music.
The scene in Jacksonville, it's been there, but only for headliners, So I think we want to build just love for house music itself and a night dedicated to house. In the direct future, we have an event on the 13th of February and then another event on the 27th of February.
If you're interested in finding out more about these events, you can check out their Instagram page at House Hats Collective. For Inside Jax, this has been Cori Santucci.
To learn more about House Hats Collective and their events, go to their Instagram page at House Hat Collective or unftv.com.
Some of the world's brightest up-and-coming artists in the music industry are based right here in Jacksonville. I sat down with Peyton Lesher to talk about her rise to the forefront of the local music scene.
Peyton Lesher is an up-and-coming singer-songwriter out of St. Augustine, Florida. She started exploring her interest in music at a young age, and she remembers her first musical moment happening around 4 or 5 years old.
I had grabbed my uncle's guitar, literally not knowing how to play the guitar at all, and I just sat in front of my family, and pretty much I sang along to the track, strumming along to nothing, to the beat of the song, and it just felt fun, it felt right.
Peyton finds comfort in writing about her life experiences, both positive and negative.
I think a lot of my music comes from personal experiences, and I think that's the easiest way to write, you know. Like, from my personal point of view, you can't tell a story that's not your own. I usually take experiences, whether they're good or bad, and turn them into either metaphorical lyrics or just tell it straight how it is and put it out in the world.
One person who really understands Lesher's passion and drive for her music is her bandmate, Dominic Steenson. Lesher and Steenson met and began playing together 6 years ago. Steenson says he feels lucky to be able to connect and work on music with someone like Lesher.
It's really hard to put your finger on it, but there's just this special connection you can have with musicians sometimes where if you guys are just doing something on the spot, you change the same way at the same time, and it just works.
But the life of an artist isn't always easy, especially when it has to be balanced with a full academic schedule. While Peyton is an up-and-coming independent artist on the weekends, during the week she's here at UNF balancing schoolwork. Peyton is an elementary education major.
In a perfect world, I would definitely do both. Like, I would love to be doing my music and teaching at the same time and incorporating music into the classroom, because some kids are musical, some kids love to learn music.
Despite a full course load of classes, Lesher has recently released her brand new single, Dark. She is also finishing the production of a 5-song EP. You can check out Peyton Lesher's released music on all streaming platforms. Sarah Glenn, Inside Jacksonville.
And you can hear more from Peyton on all major streaming platforms. You can also follow her on Instagram and Facebook at Peyton Lesher Music. Coming up, 2 local athletes came home for the holidays. Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville.
Each holiday season, the Taxator Gator Bowl gives Jacksonville a chance to bask in the national spotlight. But as I discovered, one of the teams visiting for the game came prepared with its own First Coast connection. 26 players on Indiana's roster call Florida home, but only 2 are from Jacksonville, and they ring in the new year under the bright lights at TIAA Bank Field. Khalil Bryant and Devon Matthews are both former Jacksonville high school football stars, and the duo lucked out with a holiday home game as Indiana battled Tennessee in the 75th TaxSlayer Gator Bowl.
It's an honor, growing up, going to the games, seeing the environment and being a part of the fan base for so many years.
Bryant, a senior defensive back, grew up watching the Jaguars and was more than ready to go to work on the same field as his NFL idols, especially with family so close for his final game as a Hoosier. Matthews, a defensive back as well, was not the biggest Jaguar fan, but he was excited to play on an NFL field. He was eager to get away from home for college and see new things.
I didn't want to always stay in Florida my entire life, so I wanted to experience new things in the world. So I just wanted, and then I got family members from Indiana as well too, so I just chose the school for that reason.
Bryant was already committed to Indiana when Tom Allen became the Hoosiers' 29th head coach in December 1st of 2016. With its second bowl appearance since his arrival, it appears that the team is going in the right direction, starting with recruiting. And to keep it going, he'll need to attract more players like Devon.
Well, I thought he was just an amazing athlete, better person, just fit with us in every way possible. And recruit the area, so you go through and you find guys, and our staff did a great job identifying him, and just was a guy that we thought at the time was going to be a special player and just really gifted athlete, and he's proven to be that way.
The Jacksonville natives are excited to be back home, but not only that, they are excited to be playing on an NFL field that they grew up watching.
For 3 quarters, the Hoosiers' defense keeps Tennessee under control, but the Volunteers spoiled the homecoming, at least as far as the final score was concerned. The Vols were victorious with the score ending at 23-22.
So we were inches away from making tremendous history here in our program and being, the first team to win a ball game in 28 years. So that's what makes us hurt so bad, is to be that close and realize you had history on your fingertips and you let it slip away. But yeah, I was proud of our defense.
Even though Indiana lost, they are proud how far they have come in their program. The Hoosier team is excited for their season next year and have their eyes set on another bowl game. The senior player Khalil Bryant is set to graduate at the end of this semester.
Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Inside Jacksonville.
If you missed anything from today's program, just visit our website at unftv.com and look under the Digital Journalism tab, where you'll find expanded versions of our stories, photos, interviews, and other extras. Again, that's unftv.com.
You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at JaxUNF. Thank you for joining us.
We had an amazing time, and thank you for watching from all of us here in Inside Jacksonville.